Okay, welcome back to One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering Action Comics 163, The Girl of Tomorrow. Yes, it's another story where someone gets superpowers temporarily. Apparently, the scientists on Earth can make machines that give you superpowers for 24 hours only. Nothing permanent. If it was the Marvel Universe, this would be permanent. Where's our man when we need him? He's probably been introduced by this time. It's also playing into a very childlike, very toxic boyhood that might lead into some horrible toxic masculinity as men grow older. But the idea that like women are trying to trick you into marriage, that kind of shows up often in the 1950s when it comes to Lois. But this story is actually not about Lois, which thank God she would have to be taught a lesson. And I'm tired of Lois being taught lesson. This story revolves around the telephone operator of the Daily Planet, Susan Simple. She has never been introduced before. She is absolutely, positively in love or infatuated with Superman, but there's no chance anything can happen there. But Lois reports on a scientist who's created a machine that gives you powers for 24 hours, kind of like the last time that happened, which happened to Lois when she became the Girl of Steel. I think that was that story. Yeah, the Girl of Steel. This one's the Girl of Tomorrow. Not the Woman of Tomorrow. No, we're never going to call them women. So she forces the professor to give her these superpowers and then later destroys the machine for some reason, so no one can stop her, I guess. Now she's sort of Superman's equal and he has to marry her. Well, that's not, she does try that logic, but that's not where she's going with this. Her superpowers involve flight, but the rest of them are psychic based. So she has telepathy and telekinesis, including being able to lift things that Superman can lift just with her mind, which arguably more impressive. And she can read people's minds, which you can already realize, uh-oh. So she reads Clark, Superman's mind, and now knows his secret identity. And this is where she really pulls stuff. She's blackmailing Superman into marrying her. Oh dear. That's how you endear someone into loving you for the rest of their lives? Especially the rest of her life, because without the superpowers, she's probably not going to live very long. And Superman arguably will live forever. Especially if we go by the All-Star Superman rules. Which already the temporary superpowers does feel like a Golden Age throwback. If you haven't read All-Star Superman, Luthor drinks a potion that gives him Superman's powers for 24 hours. And actually, sort of similar ending to how Superman defeats Luthor and her here. Though Morrison does love, more Silver and Bronze Age comics, but there is some callbacks to Golden Age Superman in All-Star Superman, which is fantastic and maybe the best Superman story ever told. So Superman tries to make a deal with this, like if he can find somewhere where she can't find him using her telepathy, he doesn't have to marry her. But she finds him everywhere, including in deep space, while like landing on a star, which is just a great visual for Superman that we're not getting a lot of, because he's mostly dealing with annoying things like teaching Lois a lesson. Lois's main role in the story is to be jealous and angry at Susan, because she can't have more on her mind, or be interested in telling the story of this woman giving herself powers for 24 hours to marry Superman, and Superman like, no thank you. He seems just more annoyed by women because he's a 1950s man. No, I'm not going to go deeper in that. It just sucks. But this is actually Superman's plan. The magnetic forces affect her watch, so it's actually moving 5 minutes slower. So when they're about to get married, conveniently, she passes out when she loses her powers and has completely forgotten that Clark Kent is Superman. Which is not like the best way of defeating her, but it does involve him outsmarting her, which is great. I like that. This is, as I said, similar to All-Star Superman, where he uses a gravity gun against Lex to increase his gravitational pull towards the Earth, which is how, time kind of works. So in like 2 hours, he wastes 24 hours. It's so great. He speeds up the clock. That is a great reveal. Here, he legitimately speeds up a clock. And then it just kind of gets convenient with fixing things so we can not deal with this. But at the end, Lois has sort of set up Susan and Clark, which sounds like a really interesting idea of this meek woman who's in love with Superman but is dating Clark because they're both meek people. And maybe Clark starts to fall in love with her. This could create conflict going forward in the Superman comics. I like the idea of Clark having his own girlfriend who might like him for him while Lois is too enamored with Superman. Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure Susan will never show up again. So a story I actually kind of enjoy in a lot of levels. It's just unfortunately incredibly sexist and validates a lot of boys' view on women and marriage that is a toxic thing to constantly represent to them. Okay, that is it from Action Comics 163. The Girl of Tomorrow. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when new video is up. I do this Monday through Friday, but Fridays is Bat Friday, where I cover a Batman story in either Detective Comics or Batman. And until next time, let us ponder the question, whatever did happen to the Man of Tomorrow, and whatever happened to the Girl of Tomorrow, I will miss you, Susan Simple. Okay, have a great day.